Mr. Mayor, it's time.
Everybody awake now? It's okay. I'll share with you in the meantime. I'd like to call the special meeting to order of April 25th, 2024 at 4 p.m. Roll call, please.
Mayor Donald Hewich,
Here.
Mayor Pro Tempore Margaret Morales,
Present.
Councilmember Jose Montaño,
Yes.
Councilmember Dania Acosta.
Present.
Thank you. And Councilmember Acosta, can you please provide us with your password?
24425W3,
Thank you. And what is your location?
Flagstaff, Arizona.
And is anyone else with you?
Not at the moment.
Thank you. Councilmember Ray Shelton,
Present.
Councilmember Michael Valdenegro,
Present.
City Manager Ana Urquijo,
Present.
City Attorney Dennis Fitzgibbons,
Present.
City Treasurer Luis Pedrosa.
Present.
Thank you.
Thank you, Ms. Andrade. Item number 3, persons wishing to address the council in writing or verbally on any item not on the agenda. We have anyone this evening? Thank you very much. Item number 4, discussing decision to call for and conduct an executive session under the authority of ARS 38-431.03 subsection A1 and A3 to discuss and review applications for appointment to city council and the process to fill the current vacancy on city council and for discussion or consultation with the city attorney related thereto. May I have a motion to enter into executive session?
Mayor,
Yes, please, Ms. Morales.
I move that mayor and council adjourn to executive session.
Is there a second?
Second.
Motion by Mrs. Morales, second by Mr. Shelton to enter into executive session. All in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Any
Aye.
opposed? The ayes have it. We will go into executive session at 4:02 p.m.
No, I joined the one that was on the calendar.
Adjourn the executive session, Ms. Morales.
I move to adjourn executive session.
Is there a second?
Second.
Motion by Ms. Morales, second by Mr. Shelton to adjourn the executive session. All in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed by nay? The ayes have it. We go back into regular session at 4:27. What we'd like to do, gentlemen, and we appreciate your interest in being here today. It's fantastic to see the entrance in our city. It is something that's needed, and we truly appreciate it. What we'd like to do is that we will start in the order of Mr. Costa, Mr. Robles, and then Mr. Frisbee. And so we'd like to invite Mr. Robles and Mr. Frisbee to go with Cynthia. And then we'll call you again. Mr. Robles will be the second one in, and then Mr. Frisbee. Richard, we're ready for you.
Yes.
Welcome, Richard. What we'd like to do is that we appreciate you answering the questions, and all the council members have them in front of them, and been able to review your answers, which we greatly appreciate. And we'd like to give you an opportunity to tell a little bit about yourself, and then we have a couple of additional questions from our council members.
Sure.
So
Okay, Mr. Mayor, Councilman, my name is Richard Acosta, born and raised here in Douglas, Arizona. I'm 58 years old. I've been working with the Unified Douglas Unified School District for 32 years. And Mr. Shelton there was my teacher back in junior high. And I also worked under with Mr. Hewish, who was a business manager, and also Mr. Valdenedo when I was at Ray Brain, he was a security. So, and I know Ms. Margaret quite well, Mr. Montaño. So I love the city. I had the opportunity when I graduated from Western New Mexico University to go to Seattle, Washington to work. And I said, no. So I want to go back to my town and make a difference. I do come from a family of 9. Eight of the 9 are all educators. Some of them are retired already. My oldest sister is doing well for herself. She's a real estate broker in Phoenix. So my parents did well with us. The community here, Douglas, means a lot to me. And I believe that, I have 3 daughters, and they're all Tucson and Phoenix. And my wife, Gloria, stepdaughter Jackie are here present with me. My dad always told me that that he wanted me to be a politician. I said, no, I never had the interest to be in the politics. But when this opportunity arose, I said, okay, I heard my dad talking and says, go for it, Mijo, get it done. So that's what brought me here. And my daughters as well, my wife, my stepdaughter, been very supportive. And why this job? Why do it now? 58 years old, I could have done a long time ago. because I still have a passion for what I do as an educator, as a school counselor. But now it's time for me to, not be in the inside. I want to be in the inside looking out now, because previously, yes, you hear, everything's going on, but now I want to get involved. Like I said, I love this community and I want to see it progress for the best. And one thing most of you know that I'm part of the Planning and Zoning Commission. And I know my question there, the general plan for the city of Douglas, it looks promising, but again, we need to move forward to it. With it being an institution as the Douglas Unified School District for 32 years, it kind of works the same way. There's state makes us do things. They got to be put into place, and there's got to be unity and collaboration, bottom line, for it to all come in place. So that's one thing that I have, and my philosophy is it got to be united, and there's got to be collaboration between all stakeholders involved.
Thank you, Richard. Mr. Shelton, please.
Doing just fine. Beautiful day.
Downtown revitalization. The airport, one airport. We had a initiative in, we're giving them housing, restaurants. And, revitalizing is also that. Why don't we start with what are you feeling about that?
Hey, like I said, I was raised at 915 First Street, block away from Ms. Morales. Port of Entry, to me, the new one, it's a great idea. I believe, I'm a business minor. There's got to be competition. We got to be able to ease the port, the old one. The new one, basically, I know it's for trucking and so forth. I believe that's where it's coming from. But any investment in our community, such as the new port of entry, will only revitalize our community. I mean, we're talking about tax money, tax dollars, and I think it's going to be major improvement. And look at what Mariposa port of entry did for Nogales. Nogales is a whole new community now. Yes, I mean, athletically, there are, but yeah, we go there when we travel to Mexico, we go to the Mariposa, and I could just, there's times where I just drive through there and I see what that new port of entry has done to the state of Nogales, what businesses are there now. They got a lot of major warehouses that warehouse the produce and everything that's being imported from Mexico. But you see the difference. I was just there last week because I coach middle school baseball, and we played at Desert Shadows, which is the newest middle school there. And you could see the facilities. And again, all that is based because of tax dollars that are coming into that community based on the port of entry. So the port of entry here for Douglas will only benefit our community. Overall, it'll bring jobs, which is the biggest goal that I wish to bring to Douglas, is that we need more jobs here. So the port of entry is going to be a big benefit to our community, to both cities, Agua Prieta and Douglas. Okay.
Okay, how about the downtown, especially the 3 blocks there?
Okay, I was hoping you guys would ask me that, and I know I didn't put it in the questionnaire there. My wife and I and Jackie and my stepson, we traveled to Flagstaff 2 years ago, and we took the train ride. From what city do you take the train ride to Grand Canyon?
Williams.
Williams. Many years ago, because I have many siblings that live in Las Vegas, you know, I took that drive from Flagstaff towards Vegas. And that, I'm talking about 15 years ago, maybe. That town was a ghost town. Williams was a ghost town. So revitalization of downtown, have you seen their downtown? You guys, I mean, it's my wife wants to go there every year. It's beautiful. Now, imagine it. Here in Douglas, we have Douglas. Our downtown could be something similar to Williams. We have Bisbee. We have Tombstone. We have Benson. Unfortunately, we don't have a railroad. But some idea, something similar like that, and it takes investors. You talked about the airport. You know, we repaved it. There's a reason why you repave it. And it's a good thing. But bottom line is the revitalization of downtown, and we drive through. I remember going through high school, we used to cruise up and down G Avenue because it was alive. Now it's dead, and that's unfortunate. But if the city is committed, their city government is committed to making something out of it, hey, let's do it. Because we need to bring life to our community. That's my main goal. We got to bring jobs, and the revitalization of downtown is a plus. No doubt about it.
Okay, the airport.
The airport, again, the only thing I know about the airport is it's got repaved. And again, it's a plus. Anything we do here to improve our community, if it's our city airport, then let's go for it. And I believe that, you know, if it's going to bring in investors, and that's a plus. I know our helicopters gas up there, which bring the medical emergencies to our town. And I mean, just last weekend, we saw like 3 of them take off at the same time. One gassed up, so I don't know what's going on, but it's important. And an airport is important to the community. To any city, an airport is important. Okay.
Okay, how about the revitalization of the golf course to get it back to 18 holes like it should be?
Again, we have tourists coming down Douglas. And most of them want to golf. Most of them golf. Some of them golf. I think most of them. But again, who else? That's my backyard. I'm right on the 10th hole. I'm on the 10th hole, and it hurts to see so many, you know, I'm pretty sure millions of dollars were put into the back 9 holes, maybe you call it. But again, it's beautiful. It's beautiful. We live right there. We drive, we see the ponds, we see the ducks. Just a little pond there, which is part of the golf course. You should see it on weekends, Saturdays and Sundays. Just the prom just happened Saturday. I mean, all the kids that were going to the dance were there. Picturesque. Now, again, and that's part of the golf community. So it is important that we revitalize our, I know that there's the sale of those apartments. There's some of the monies there. You know what? And I think I've heard that you guys have hired a superintendent. And I've talked to some people out there because every Thursday, as a matter of fact, I need to apologize to him because today's wing and hamburger day at the country club. And that's, you know, and you see it gets full. So if you fix something, people will come. Okay. If you do it the right way, people will come. Because I know Douglas has a lot of golfers, and I've been involved in the Labor Day golf weekend. I worked it like 2 years ago, and it was sad that the back nine were not being used. And you have people coming in from out of town, and they see the potential that the golf course has, and it's sad to see it dry. So yes, all 4 questions you asked are plus, and if I get appointed, I'm going to work, you know, we're united. We need to collaborate on this because it's a team effort. I've always believed in teamwork, and that's my goal. Okay.
Mr. Acosta, Mr. Montano, you have something, please?
Yeah, I have a follow-up question. I know one of the questions you answered on the questionnaire is related to this. I wanted you to go maybe a little deeper into it. What do you think is the biggest issue facing Douglas, and how would you address that issue?
We have Cochise College, 10 miles from here. One of the best community colleges in the country. Dr. Rottweiler and I, we know each other quite well. I worked the basketball games. And let me tell you, he came into that position and brought that Cochise College. There's a lot of opportunities there for our young students to get a certified, to get a job. You know, I'm an alumni from Cochise College, and I know some of you are as well. But, and I did mention there, one of the biggest regrets that I hated doing as a school counselor at the Douglas High School was letting these students know, you know, there's nothing here for Douglas. You know, you got to move out of town. Now, I'm going to tell you a story. Just last year with Dr. Laguillo, an appointment. And, you know, he works with the University of Arizona, the medical students. When the students are sophomores, as a counselor, you start asking them, what are your goals? What do you want to do? And I had 2 students tell me they want to be doctors. It's okay. Now, this is what you need to do. You know, you got to get ready for it. So last April, almost a year ago, I had my 6-month, you know, follow-up regular doctor's appointment. And I walk into Dr. Laguillo's office. They take you in, they take your vitals. And here comes those 2 students. And they surprised me. Because I told them, I said, you could be anything you want. And one of the questions, you know, one of the things I did tell them when they were high school students is that I want you guys to be doctors and come back to Douglas, because when I retire, I want you guys to take care of me. So when they walked into the doctor's office, they told me. And I said, what do you guys do? We're here to take care of you, Mr. He told you. And you know what? I'm proud of them. But again, unfortunately, they left. They leave Douglas. We need to utilize the resources we have here in Douglas, such as Cochise College. Law enforcement, I know Port of Entry, Border Patrol, and the DOC, they all hire students, yes. But we need other fields, other professions, other careers here that'll bring outside people in. Because I know for a fact, growing up here in the school system, you know, Mr. Crispin, you know, everybody moved from out of town to Douglas to make this his hometown. That doesn't happen anymore. We need to keep our own and bring outside people in. Let them see, because as far as climate's concerned, we have the best climates in Arizona, in the whole country. So, yes, it's important that we bring jobs, first and foremost, to this community. We need to let investors know that we're here for them, and whatever the city can do to bring them in and accommodate them and do what's necessary to keep them here, it's going to start. It's a process. It's baby steps, but that's something I want to see happen is to bring jobs to Douglas. Okay.
Thank you, Mr. Acosta.
You're welcome.
Thank you very much, Mr. Costa. That's all the questions we have for you. Is there anything else you'd like to add in closing?
No, as a matter of fact, you guys asked the perfect questions, because those are the pressing to me was that is, you know, we do have the port of entry, jobs, you know, it's important. The revitalization is downtown is key. And like I said, I still imagine our community, because we have our sister city across the line that because of them, it keeps our economy going. But again, the important thing to remember is we only have one supermarket here, and being in the business field and business minor, you know, competition drives the economy, and that's not happening right now. Okay.
Thank you very much,
Thank
Mr.
you.
Costa. Would you find Mr. Robles, please?
Yeah.
You can stay if you'd like, because please, right there. Welcome, Ralph. We're glad to have you, and we appreciate your interest in serving with us on the council. Basically, we appreciate the questionnaire that you answered for us, and so we have that, each council member has had that for review.
Mhm.
So what we'd like to do is give you an opportunity to open up with whatever you'd like to say, and then we have a couple of questions that we'd like to ask you in addition. And so that's what we'll do. So the floor is yours. Please introduce yourself and whatever else you'd like to mention.
All right, thank you, and good afternoon, everybody. My name is Ralph Robles, and I just want to thank you guys for the opportunity, and I hopefully here to help fill in. And I do agree with you guys. It's good to see more people coming out to be part of the city to actually get award and other just instead of a no competition. So I'm thankful for that. I have my beautiful family right here with me in support. And I'm just looking forward to getting the city of Douglas in progress and moving forward and thriving.
Thank you. Mr. Shelton, please.
Okay,
Test.
There you go.
There.
okay, now I'm on too now. Had the water covering the thing. I thought it was on there, but thank you, Alma, for doing that. Okay. We have been working the last 6 to 10 years and probably longer on a number of items. And there's 4 of them I'd like you to comment on.
Mhm.
And I'd like just, not me, but everybody here would like to know what your feelings and maybe concerns about these 4 items.
Okay.
The first one is the port of entry. Everybody knows it's coming in. Then there's downtown revitalization of approximately 3 blocks. And then the airport, we have gotten the runway fixed, and there are millionaires coming in to build houses and to build a restaurant and make a little a community back in that area. And then, of course, then the last thing might be the golf course, and to get it revitalized and get the 18 holes running up again. Now, why don't you start with the port of entry? What would your feelings and concerns be about the port of entry?
Port of entry, I mean, we just really, I know there's a process. I read the GSA, so we're still in process of everything getting lined up to get ready for it. I think I read it was fall 2025 when I think we actually start the actual construction of it. My biggest concern about the actual port is just the area. I know it's a flood zone. So to me, I'm not sure if it's going to cost more cost effective with building bridges over those flood areas. I haven't been back there specifically, but I know as I've come along during the monsoons and passed by the Cochise College, I know that place is literally like a river back there. So that's my biggest concern with that area. I know we don't have always the justification that where we can build it. It's always us plus the government in conjunction with building and constructing this port of entry. I do know that Mexico is really pushing their side of their end, and we're just pretty much on a turtle's pace and getting everything lined up to go. But once I do see it hopefully being constructed, it's a win for Douglas, and we're hoping to get more attraction, bring people down here to hopefully get hotels, restaurants up and going in that area. And I just see it as a big progress, and that's a win for Douglas. I know they're not just the actual port of entry, commercial port of entry. I understand there's going to be rebuilding and remodelization of the current port of entry. Is that correct? Yeah. We just went on a trip this past week to Agua Prieta, and I haven't been there in the last 5 years, so it was just something different to see. And I don't know what they're going to really do to remodel it. Maybe they're going to open up the commercial side to it, but it's definitely needed. I think more it's needed is actually the manpower to make it run. But it's something good for our community, and we just really needed to get it going. If you guys need somebody to start digging, just let me know where to start digging, and we'll get that process started, and we'll go from there.
Okay, what is your view then on downtown revitalization?
Downtown revitalization. This is something I've heard for the last, I want to say about 7 years. To me, honestly, my perspective of downtown, it's now or never. And hopefully it's now. We received $2.9 million. And I could see that we really need to put some infrastructure there with businesses first. And that will bring our tourism to our city. We do get a lot of tourists here, and unfortunately, the way I've seen it, I worked at Borderland Chevy for a couple of years, and I've seen our tourists walk up and down very disappointed. So we need something for them to actually be attentive to, something that they could go see, hang out for a bit, keep them here hopefully for another day or two, and get that money from the outside economies. And my perspective on that is, other than just the attraction, we need to help our current businesses that are on G Avenue. I think maybe mayor and council would maybe need to talk to these businesses, stay open a little bit later. I don't know their current status on why they close so early on. Maybe we could get them to stay open on a Friday night, just a little bit longer. Because people come down from other cities and they want to come and hang out. They can at least see something for one time out of the day, As a business person myself, it's just I know there's certain areas that we don't have the manpower or economic money to keep the business open for as long as you can. But majority of the people that I know that have businesses in the G Avenue area they're all entrepreneurships. So just hoping that maybe as a city council member that we could discuss with them and keep them open a little bit longer. Maybe bring down our food trucks and keep them on G Avenue at least for one night to keep that attraction there instead of on just one park that majority of the tourists probably won't even stop by. That's just my opinion. Well, that's the good news is we're gonna actually be using it. We're gonna have hopefully people come through on their private jets, planes, and come hang out in Douglas. And if we're having anybody building more houses, and hopefully that economy comes and grows within our community, we do need a lot more people with higher incomes to be a part of our community. So it's a plus, but once again, we need that attraction in our community to keep them here. We just can't have them come in here, look at Douglas for a couple hours and head out. We need to keep them here for the rest of the weekend. Hopefully put an arm around them and make them stay here. One big thing in my opinion is I think we should really move the Air Museum, the Border Air Museum, to G Avenue and keep that as an attraction for G Avenue to keep people walking around. Maybe contact people from the Grand Theater. I'm not sure if Bach is still involved with the Grand Theater, but maybe open that up where we could have people see the Grand Theater and leave it unmanned and let them see what it used to be and what it is now. Hopefully attract some investors to come down to buy it and actually make it run. But back to the beginning is just I think that's one thing is if we're gonna be inviting the outside millionaires to come to Douglas, is we need them to stay here. We're just not gonna say, hey, this is Douglas. All right, see you never sometimes. So that's just my opinion, and we need those investors to come and stay in our community and invest. First, I just want to state that I'm not a golfer, so I don't know a lot about golf. I do putt, and that's about it. But I do see that we have a lot of enthusiasm as the golfers I do talk to, and I really see as the golf course as a diamond in the rough. If we were to get that upgraded and set up tournaments in Douglas, potentially those investors and millionaires that come down, I'm pretty sure they play golf. I'm pretty sure they're swinging really, really hard. And like they have in Tucson, those big fences that they just do drives out there. So I think that's a great place that we need to make an investment and cherish it and make it an attraction to Douglas. I think it was Naco that had a really good golf course too, and they failed. And I think it's a desert right now. The oldest one in the state, CN was. So I really see that if we could get some money there and really plan it out, have somebody with some strategic planning through the next coming years with celebrations, tournaments, and really get people to come down here, take those investors from our airport down to G Avenue and take them out to the golf course. We have something to showcase in our community.
Mr. Montaño, please.
Sure. The biggest issue currently right now, in my opinion, I think is our jobs. Jobs is something that either we need to create or build some type of entrepreneurship if we can't find certain corporations or manufacturers that can't come to Douglas. I think we need to be the innovators to create these jobs for all of us, and especially our youth. I work a lot with our youth, and unfortunately, as we are in the border, a lot of our youth end up trying to get the fast money. So I think it's really important that we need to create jobs in our community to keep them in a positive mindset that it's hard work that's going to pay off, not the quick, easy buck.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Thank you, Ralph. Anything you'd like to close with? Anything you'd like to add?
I just want to thank everybody for being here and taking the time, and I thank you guys for the opportunity to speak and be part of the city of Douglas right now.
Thank you, Ralph. Appreciate it. You can please find Mr. Frisbee. Mr. Frisbee, welcome. We appreciate your interest in wanting to serve on the city council, and we appreciate you filling out the questionnaire. I know we had a little technical difficulty, but we're grateful that we're able to resolve that in the end. So each of the council members have had the opportunity to review your answers. What we'd like to do today is lead off with allow you to introduce yourself and say anything you'd like. And then we have a couple of questions from council members to follow up with.
Okay.
And we'll go from there. So the floor is yours, Mr. Frisbee.
Well, thank you for having me. My name is Marvin Frisbee. I was born and raised here in Douglas. I left when I was about 18. I moved to a suburb of the city of Chicago called Elmwood Park. I lived there for about 7 years, at which point I enlisted in the military. I joined the Army, and I was stationed in Fort Lewis, Washington State. I served my term, and then I got out and I joined the National Guard here with the mighty 2220th. That was back in 2016. I moved back, and I got out of the National Guard in 2018, December of 2018. I'm married. My wife works at the Haven and at the Copper Queen. I have young children, a 6-year-old and a 7-year-old. I currently work for the Social Security Administration office. I'm the service rep there. I'm usually the first person
first points of contact with people doing business with Social Security. I think I've seen some of you there. I think I've seen Sir Sheldon there. Are you? I usually deal with people that visit Douglas from other parts of Cochise County. I hear what they have to say. They usually ask me where the, good place to eat and all that. So I have, I like talking to people. And I also worked with Valdenegro there, so when he was a security. What else? That's about it. I enjoy, I love living here in Douglas. I think it has a lot to offer.
Thank you, Marvin. Mr. Shelton, please.
Okay. We've been working on, well, 4 major projects, matter of fact, probably 5 or 6, but, the projects we've been working on, and I'm going to list them, but as I talk, we want to know what your feelings or concern might be about these different things. Number 1 is the port of entry. And the next one would be the downtown revitalization. And then the third one is the airport. The airport, we've paved it. And then we're going to be having millionaires come in and they're going to build houses, and they're going to build a restaurant in back of there. And then the fourth one is revitalizing the 18 hole golf course that we have here in Douglas. So what's your feelings and concerns? And the first one would be the port of entry.
Well, I think it's going to bring more people, more business to Douglas. I think it's well needed, and that's all I got to say about that. I think it's a good thing for Douglas as far as business growth. That's about it. Now for your other questions, as far as like the downtown.
Downtown would, yes.
The downtown, I think it's important to keep beautifying the city. But I wouldn't focus, if you're asking my opinion, I think downtown is a little bit, I think you should make it beautiful. And I don't know if there's a possibility to do something, the city itself with those buildings, something that would attract people. But I don't think it's, I think more budget or effort should go into golf, maybe, because there's a lot of people that retire and like golfing, and the airport. I don't know if there's some type of, I don't know how many people actually are able to fly and visit Douglas, but with marketing and all that, I think it's, you can connect the two, the golf course and the airport, to bring people to Douglas, and possibly people from, I would start with county wise first. There's a lot of people that don't know how beautiful Douglas is and all the beautiful parks. But I do think that some of the parks do need a little bit more work. Okay, I like what they're doing with the pool. But downtown, I think downtown, I think Douglas has a lot more to offer than just downtown. It has, it's way different from other small towns here in Cochise County. It has a lot of parks. It's beautiful. And downtown, I don't think it's what's going to bring people here. The golf course, I love golfing. I go every time I have a time. I have loved golfing. I learned how to swim when they had a pool there. They had a room in the back full of floaties and stuff, and it was amazing. Nobody ever went. It was really nice back in the late 90s or so.
Right.
And I actually enjoy the the back nine more when it was back in 2016, 2017 when it was still good. So I'm all for the golf course. I think some people might say that golf is a dying sport, but I think not enough people try it. I think it's really nice, and a lot of people, you know, the thing is that a lot of people are moving here from California, from all these other places, or like to, or, you know, visiting, and I think the golf course should remain and should expand.
Okay.
Yeah.
And any other comments? Any other comments on these items? I'm gonna turn that.
No, it's just not too familiar regarding with the airport. But I think it's important to Douglas. It has history. And if there's maybe, you know, I don't know if there's a way to put it out there, maybe have some type of deal for people to come in and use and use the airport.
Thank you, Mr. Frisbee. Mr. Montaño, please.
I have to follow.
The biggest issue would be, I think Douglas has a stigma. And I don't think that stigma is necessarily true. I think Douglas is safe. I don't, besides being a border town, like it comes, all the issues that come with being a border town, I think it's safe, but I think, well, you know, people usually don't have a lot of opportunity as far as employment. They either, well, you know, Walmart, prison, border patrol, stuff like that. So I think, what I mean is, you know, and along with work or, you know, having resources, some resources are not available. You would have to go to Tucson or other places to find resources, or a lot of resources are based on I don't know how to put it, but some people don't have access or too expensive for some people. It's either free for them or too expensive for others. Some people are cut in the middle, and they, you know, that's what I meant.
Mr. Frisbee. Then at the end, anything you'd like to add or any words of wisdom you'd like to leave with us?
Really, I just thank you for the opportunity, and if you know, if I get chosen, I would, you know, been nice working with you.
Thank you. Thank you, Mr. Frisbee.
Thank you.
If you join me in a round of applause for all three candidates for Thank you. We'll move on to item number 6, discussion decision to call for and conduct an executive session under the authority of ARS 38-431.03 subsections A1 and A3 to discuss and review the application interviews to city council and for discussion or consultation with the city attorney related thereto. May I have a motion to enter executive session?
Mayor,
Yes, Ms. Morales.
I move that mayor and council adjourn to executive session.
Is there a second?
Second.
Motion by Ms. Morales, second by Mr. Montaño to enter into executive session. All in favor signify by saying aye. Aye. Any opposed by nay? The ayes have it. We're going to executive session at 5:09, and just for the record, we'll be back out and make the appointment. So thank you. We're back. May I have a motion to adjourn the executive session?
Mayor,
Ms. Morales,
I move to adjourn executive session.
is there a second?
Second.
Motion by Ms. Morales, second by Mr. Baldanegro to adjourn the executive session. All in favor signify by saying aye. Aye. Any opposed, nay? The ayes have it. We come out of executive session at 5:52 PM. Item number 7. Discussion decision on approval of council member appointment for Ward 6. May I have a motion, please?
Mr. Mayor,
Mr.
I
Shelton?
recommend that we appoint Richard Acosta for council member appointment for Ward 6.
Is there a second?
A second.
There's a motion by Mr. Shelton, second by Mr. Montano to appoint Mr. Richard Acosta to fill the vacancy in Ward 6. Roll call, please.
Councilmember Montaño,
Yes.
Councilmember Acosta,
No.
Councilmember Shelton,
Yes.
Councilmember Montenegro,
Yes.
Mayor Pro Tem Morales,
Yes.
Mayor.
Yes, the ayes have it. Congratulations, Mr. Acosta.
Thank you.
We now have our wonderful Justice of the Peace, City Magistrate with us today. And so, Richard, if you come forward, we'll swear you in and then allow you to make any comments you'd like to.
Richard Acosta, do solemnly swear
That I will support the Constitution of the United States
that I will support the Constitution of the United States,
and the Constitution and laws of the state of Arizona,
the Constitution
the Constitution and laws of the state of Arizona, that I will bear true faith and allegiance to the same
faith, allegiance, same,
and defend them against all enemies, foreign and domestic,
foreign and domestic,
and that I will faithfully and impartially discharge the duties of the office of the city council of Ward 6,
city council of the state,
according to the best of my ability.
according to the requirements.
So help me God.
Don't mind, Councilman, would like to come down and take a picture with you? Very.
Better. Go on to the next.
Again, we'd like to thank Mr. Ralph Robles and Mr. Marvin Frisbee for their interest in wanting to serve. We hope to see more of you. Always, Ralph, we always see. Appreciate it. So it'd be great. I'll yield the floor to Mr. Acosta, please.
The mic.
On behalf of myself and my wife, and my son, and my family, it was a great opportunity. And I want to thank Mr. Frisbee, Mr. Robles. You know, we're the same ward, we got to work together. Okay. Communication is the key. Let's work together. And I think first and foremost, being an educator, we need to educate our community. We need to educate our constituents. Because one thing that I did notice that when we were talking about the data on the general plan of the city of Douglas, the numbers were I was appalled by the surveys that it was people that did not do a survey. So I think now I'm here and I'm gonna work hard for the city of Douglas and my constituents. But I think it's important to re-educate the city of Douglas community and be very transparent so we could get things accomplished.
Thank you, Mr. Costa. And it looks like I have a great start of an offensive line right here that we can get behind and run
Go deep.
and go deep and fast. Item number 8, adjournment. May I have a motion to adjourn?
Mayor,
Mrs. Morales,
I move to adjourn our meeting.
is there a second?
Second.
Motion by Mr. Morales, second by Ms. Morales, second by Mr. Shelton to adjourn the meeting. All in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed by nay. The ayes have it. We stand adjourned at 5:58.
Thank you, everyone. Have a good night.